Hi everybody, Lori here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple of coffee themed projects to share with you featuring products from the latest November release, starting with the new Snow Flurries background cling, Snowflake Flurry background. And this is new. I've never used a background cling that is gray, but I'm here to tell you it stamps like butter. Okay, so I have my large original Misty. I have a panel of Hammermill cardstock. I'm laying down that Snowflake Flurry background cling, and I'm going to emboss this in clear onto this panel of white cardstock. So first I'm rubbing it down with my powder tool. I'm going to ink up the snowflakes with Versamark ink. And I'm not really, okay, don't get mad at me. I'm not a super duper coffee lover, but I will say my family is. And they were just giddy to go to Starbucks and get one of those Christmassy drinks, one of those peppermint mocha latte chino. I don't even know what they're called, but I'm pouring on some clear embossing powder onto the snowflake background. I'm going to heat this with the heat gun. We're going to add the color with ink blending. So this is what you call emboss resist. One of my favorite ways to do a detailed background. Okay, so I laid this on top of that waffle flour media mat just so I could lay it flat because it is edge to edge with embossing. There's no real way to hold on to it. Okay, I'm using some colors that I've never tried before. It's a new combination and I think I love it. We got scattered straw, peeled paint, speckled egg, and uncharted mariner. These are all distress inks. I've never used this combination before, but it won't be the last time. I wouldn't say it's Christmassy. It's a little fall. It's wintry, winter, fall, coffee, loving it is what it is. That's what I'm going to call it. Winter, fall, coffee, loving it. For the November release with My Favorite Things. So there's peeled paint. And sometimes when you pull out a blender brush, might have a little ink left on it from before, and then you mix that with the color, it's always a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. But here's this speckled egg. I haven't used that color in a long time, and these are kind of a little more muted, a little more neutral, I would say. They're not so bright, rainbowy, happy like I normally gravitate towards. But today I was feeling, you know what, Laura? Try something new. And now here's that uncharted mariner, which is it's like a blue jean, for lack of a better description. But it pairs perfectly with these colors. And when that uncharted mariner overlaps with the scattered straw, you get kind of a beautiful little green happening there. And I go back and forth between the two to get a seamless blend. Now, if you wanted to make this Christmassy, you could do Christmas colors, reds and greens. That would be beautiful. You want to just do like a snowy snowflake with different shades of blue. That would be beautiful as well. Now this video is showing you what I like to call a twofer. You get a 2-for-1. Once you blend the background panel, I'm going to die cut this coffee mug right into it. So it's going to give you a positive and the negative of that coffee mug. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. I take that off camera, run it through my die cutting machine, and now with the negative space, I'm going to create a little coffee mug shaker. So I'm going to back that blended panel with a little sheet of acetate. So I trim it down to size, I flip over my blended panel, and I add a little liquid glue. You could use liquid glue, you can use tape runner, you can use score tape, just use whatever's closest to you. That's my philosophy. So I use some Barely Arts liquid glue because it's always handy dandy right there. And I'm going to add the little inner to that handle on the mug, just like so. Just popping that right on top of that acetate with that embellishment wand. Okay, so I've got my card base here, putting it on the Misty. I've got my shaker panel ready to go. Now I'm laying this down so I can center my sentiment. This is the new Coffee and Conversation stamp set. What does it say? You mean a latte to me. I centered that right there in the center of that coffee mug. I'm going to remove that blended panel and I'm going to stamp the sentiment onto the card base using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Now this is going to be behind the shaker. So now what I'm going to do is add my foam strips. These are by Waffle Flower, and they're pre-trimmed, adhesive, double-sided foam strips, which really are so handy dandy, especially when you're creating a shaker card. You just make sure you got all your seams tight and then add your shaker filler. I just used some Studio Katia clear iridescent confetti, slap down my blended panel, and there you have a simple little latte for the winter shaker card. Now with that leftover coffee mug die cut, I'm going to make card number 2. Ultra simple. I got a white panel on a cream card base, popping up that coffee mug. And I just feel like I want to say, let's have a cup of coffee, walk the dog, and talk about it. Now I'm going to use that same "you mean a latte" to me. I'm going to emboss it in white on a little strip of dark teal cardstock. So I'd like to know, are you into the fancy, highfalutin holiday coffee drinks that's out and about and trendy these days? Do you like the peppermint mochaccino, cappuccino, latte thingamajiggy? My husband likes just plain black. My mom drinks black, and I don't really drink a lot of hot drinks. I'll just get a tea, maybe a tea. I know I'm boring. I feel like if I'm going to have the calories, then just give me a Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want that in the morning. I feel like I'm missing out, though. And maybe these coffee drinks would give me a little perk with the caffeine. I don't know. My husband says, Laura, just get a hot chocolate and add a splash of coffee. Work your way in, ease into it. And maybe I'll do that. I add a few more of these Studio Katia iridescent clear confetti here and there, tucking them in behind the sentiment. And this card, it's so simple, but it's clean and 2 for 1. You can't beat a 2 for 1. It's a wintry, latte-themed collection. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hey, you mean a latte to me. You really do. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.